Lending an ear. Hello, everybody. Tom here. Hope you're all well. I want to talk today about how we as people sometimes should be lending an ear to others. Now, reason for this video is a colleague of mine, whom I get on quite well with, is recently going through a bit of grief. I say a bit of grief. His father's not very well, and he's concerned, as you would be if any member of your family was not well. So I first sort of got a wind that something wasn't right when he dropped a rather emotional message into the group chat we're all in. And I thought, I just can't leave it at that. It sounds like he's suffering a little bit. So while it's none of my business and I would never deliberately pry into anybody's affairs, I just wanted to make sure he was all right more than anything. So I messaged him, I private messaged him. We had a little chat. Turned out that his father had been to the doctors for some sort of checkup, and they needed to do some sort of procedure, and they did so very quickly. So positive, whatever the illness or potential issue was, they acted very quickly, which is a result, to be honest, if you're in this country and with the National Health Service. So all I was there to do was to lend an ear and to reassure him that everything's going to be all right, or to at least get him to think along those sort of lines. Because if I was switching the scenario and it was my father not very well, I equally would be very worried and very upset. So, what is the reason for me making this video? Well, the reason is very simple. We as people are very much focused on our own journeys. We've got our own lives, our own priorities, our own stuff going on. While there is nothing wrong with focusing on yourself and being a little selfish where required, I think sometimes it's very good to sort of show somebody that you care enough to just take a little bit of time out of your day. Now, for me, this guy is the same level as me in terms of position, shall we say, within the business that I'm in. But he's quite a young guy. And so me being an older guy, perhaps I'm like a big brother figure to him in some ways. But I'm certainly somebody that has had more life experience than him, has probably had their fair share of sadness. So I felt it was only right that I impart a little bit of knowledge onto him while reassuring him of the situation and trying to help where I can. I didn't go on for too long, and I just left it at there. And I think sometimes it's very good if we can be that person who lends an ear. Now, not everybody wants it. Some people will never share their problems with you. And some would say a problem shared is problem halved. Others would say if you're telling someone your problems, you should never, because most people are happy that you've got problems. I can't honestly say I'm one of the most people. I don't like hearing about people's sadness and things going wrong and family issues. I generally wish most people are come across all the best. I generally mean that. And there is that in me, that inherent sort of outward love for people that says I don't want to see anybody in a bad situation. So seeing a colleague, somebody I've known for a while, struggling the way he was the other day, I felt compelled. And I'm here to ask you today, Even no matter what you've got going on in your life, no matter how much of your own stuff you've got to go, would you, if you need required, lend an ear? Not many would, but it's definitely appreciated. I think probably more than you'd know. Guys, first of 3 videos, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of 3, as I said, please put down in the comment section below, what's your opinion of this? Is lending an ear a good thing? Is it just being nosy? Or is it actually quite refreshing to know and comforting to know that somebody outside of your circle, perhaps your circumstances, cares a little enough to take a few minutes out of their day? If I was in that guy's position, I'd be really, really grateful that somebody just did that for me. You know, I didn't give him any advice other than to tell him to try and keep positive and stay calm. And it's very easy for me to say because I'm not in that position. You know, my father's elderly or getting on now. And if he was the one that was ill and it was me, then I would equally be freaking out. But we have to try and take things as they are and take things in our stride, even if it isn't easy. Please, if you would, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. That'd be really great. And let's say that bell, please, if you would, consider giving me a thumbs up and a like. That'd be great. Got my words mixed there. And please, if you would, let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know my next content's out. I'll be back in a couple of days with another video. But until then, please, all of you, take care of yourselves and bye for now.